about it. It is a little bit well loved and crunchy in a few places. It's kind of gross. Hi guys, I'm Amy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a library sale book haul for all of you. I have made no secret of the fact that I really love used books. I don't mind books that have been slightly used, slightly bruised, and even in some cases very well loved. I love all the books regardless of their current condition. And when my library announced a flash sale that was just one day last Saturday, my mom and I jumped on that because usually my library only has 2 sales a year, once in April and once in October, so we were both very excited to go, and I got a nice little stack of books for really awesome prices. So going to give you a warning, currently I will be saying it was only $1. A lot. But let's get into the books. These books are in absolutely no particular order. They're just kind of like a stack here, and we're gonna try and go quickly because like I mentioned, I got a lot of books, guys. So the first one here is Middlemarch by George Eliot. I do actually own another copy of Middlemarch, but it is a very beat up one, and I do love these penguin cloth bound classics. I just think they're really pretty. I'm hoping I can get the sticker goo off of this. I'm not sure how I will do that, but let me know if you have a trick for that, because I know how to do it on the other books, but not on the cloth bound ones. I also found The Boleyn Inheritance by Philippa Gregory. This is a story about women that are in King Henry VIII's lives. This particularly covers, or in particular, covers Anne of Cleves, Catherine Howard, and then Jane Rochford, who was married to Anne Boleyn's brother. And I've read this book before. I really enjoyed it and just wanted to get a copy for my own. I also managed to find Barack Obama's Dreams from My Father, which is a story of race and inheritance. This is a memoir that he wrote in the 90s. For some reason, I thought it was newer than that, but I've heard only really good things about this book. So I just figured, like I said, very beat up. And I will be taking the stickers off all of these. I just haven't done that yet. And a trick, Goo Gone, works awesome for that, you guys. Kendra Winchester mentioned that in a channel, and I've been using that method for quite a while now, so I was excited to hear I wasn't the only one. But Goo Gone, guys, it's the trick, I'm telling ya. The next book that I found was Sarah Dunnett's In the Company of the Courtesan, and this is a book about a courtesan who escapes to Rome, I think, or did they... Yes, they escaped Rome and end up in Venice. And this is based partially on a true story, and I love fictionalized tellings of real people. And I've heard good things about Sarah Dunnett's writing, so I'm really excited to get into this one. I also had a little bit of a blunder because I found this, which is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, Dawn of the Dreadfuls by Steve Hawkinsmith. And I picked this up thinking this was Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, but this is the follow-up to Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. So I will be keeping an eye out for that one, but this is like a very out there retelling of Pride and Prejudice with zombies. And you know, you never know when you're gonna be in the mood for some zombies. Probably my favorite find of this go-around at the library sale is Tamara Pierce's Tortall and Other Lands, a collection of tales. So this is a short story collection by a favorite author of mine, especially growing up. I read her books voraciously and repeatedly. She writes YA fantasy, and some of these short stories in this book I will get to see characters that I know and love, and others I believe there are new. I have not read this by her yet, and I'm super excited to do so. I'm always excited to read Pierce for the first time because it's been a very long time since I've done that. I haven't read all of her books yet, but I'm working on it and very excited to add more of her works to my collection. Another nonfiction pick that I was super happy to find, and that is The Hidden Life of Trees, What They Feel and How They Communicate, Discoveries from a Secret World by, I lost his name, it's covered up, Peter Wolbian. I'm likely saying that wrong. And this is a nonfiction book about the life of trees and how there's a lot more to trees and a forest than we think. And I've only heard really good things about this book, and it's a little tiny thing, and I've been in the mood for nonfiction lately, so when I saw it, I just had to pick it up. And we also had to throw a little bit of middle grade in there because it wouldn't be a haul of mine if there wasn't just a touch of it. And I found The Sisters Grimm, The Fairy Tale Detectives by Michael Buckley. And this is a middle grade, like I mentioned, story about two sisters who find out that they are descendants of the Brothers Grimm. And the Brothers Grimm book is actually not just fairy tales, they are historical records of the magical world. And a giant comes to their town and they need to save it. This is the first in quite a large series, I believe. And I just think in many cases, middle grade is just a lot of fun and lighthearted, and when you read a lot of literary fiction, sometimes you just need something like this. So excited to pick this one up when I need a pick-me-up. I also found The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared by Jonas Jonasson and translated from the Swedish by Rod Bradbury. We're gonna ignore my phone. This is a story from what I've heard that if you love A Man Called Ove by Fredrik Backman, you will love this story. That's all I needed to know. And this is about a man named Alan who on the day of his 100th birthday party doesn't want anything to do with it and leaves and decides to travel as far as his money will take him. And while on that trip, he steals a suitcase from a fellow passenger and an adventure ensues. And you get to hear about his past adventures throughout his life as well, which include the Manhattan Project, which is a project that took place very, very close to where I am from. And I'm really excited about this, guys. You know how much I love Bachman and Uwe, and any touch of that I can get in another book, I'm very, very excited about. Another nonfiction pick by an author that I've heard amazing things about from April at Getting Hygge with It, but really don't know what this book is largely about. I just went off the name, and that is Brene Brown's Daring Greatly, How the Courage to be Vulnerable Transforms the Way We Live, Love, Parent, and Lead. I love self-help books because they're helpful, and I think you can get a lot of great information out of them. My mom also found a copy of this, and we will be buddy reading it together, and I don't know when we're doing that, but excited for when it does happen. I also found Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, How We Can Learn to Fulfill Our Potential by Kara S. Dweck. And I took a class on this concept, my phone's blowing up for some reason, last year and really, really liked it. And when I found the book, I figured, why not give it a shot? I also found this little gem, which I probably won't read this copy, but I love finding cool old books to decorate my home with, and I'll be very excited to do that when we finally get to move into the house that we're building. But this is Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. This is a really old little pocket edition, but what sold me on the fact that I had to get it was technically I made money on it, but there's like a dollar bill folded up as like a bookmark in it, and that just seemed too personal and cool to pass up. So another cute little addition to add to my very eclectic collection of old books. And I have one children's book that is completely a nod to my love of these books when I was a child, and that is Hucklebug by, I think it's Stephen Crossgrove, and illustrated by Robin James. He wrote the Serendipity books, and this is just one of them. I love the illustrations. I loved these books. I repeatedly checked them out from my school library when I was a kid, and my mom found this, and I mean, I couldn't say no to it. I also have a pick inspired by Chris from Chris Bookish Cauldron. This is a book that he connected to on a personal level, a very, very deep personal level, and when I saw it, I just had to pick it up because if Chris liked a book, I want the book. And that is A Song for Issy Bradley by Karis Bray. Karis Bray is also an author I've been wanting to read for a while now. She has a short story collection that Jen Campbell raves about. So two really big names that I recommended this book in some way. And this is about a Mormon family and a tragedy that I believe happens to them. And I do enjoy a good literary family drama most of the time, the nest aside. And like I said, I found this and was just for $1, guys. You can't say no when a hardback book is only $1. Two more books to get to. I also found Deborah Harkness's Shadow of Night. This is the second book in her Discovery of Witches series. Is that what the series is called? I don't actually know. I haven't read the first one, but I did find it at a library sale. Was it a library sale? Where did I find it? I don't remember, but it's also in hardback. So when I found this, I figured I might as well continue on. Again, it was $1. This big old book for $1. So hopefully I'll like The Discovery of Witches and want to continue on with the series, because now I have the second one. I obviously don't know what this is about because it's the second book of a series, and I don't want to be spoiled just like the rest of you. The last book I have is also another exciting find. Excited, exciting, that has been the theme of this, the word of this haul. I'm kind of all over the place, but it's okay. We're going with it. I gotta leave for work in like a few minutes. So, but excited to have found this book because I've literally only heard good things. And when a book is this big, could you guess what it is? I'd love to know if you could guess what it is. And people are saying this book is good. That means this book is good. And that is The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. This is a behemoth of a book about the building of a cathedral. And I love historical fiction. I love medieval fiction. I love very slow moving books, even when they're the size of my head. But super excited, there's that word again, to pick this book up. I gotta expand my vocabulary, guys. Help me out. What are some synonyms for excited? But yeah, I mean, for 50 cents, you can't be sad about it. It is a little bit well loved and crunchy in a few places. It's kind of gross. Anyway, yeah, The Pillars of the Earth. Alrighty guys, if you stuck through with me to the end on that, props to you, because this has gotten really long and I try to keep my videos under 15 minutes. I don't know if it's gonna happen with this one though, because that was a lot of books. But if you guys liked this video, please like it. Also, if you've read any of these books, tell me your thoughts, good, bad, otherwise. I always wanna know. I want the heads up. And if you loved it, then subscribe and see more of my face, but we'll see you in my next video. Happy reading. Ow. Like I man, did I man?